Hello everyone. This video is really meant to be a fair warning as to what happens when your phone keeps running out of memory. I honestly can't tolerate devices that misbehave. They're meant to be a convenience, a way for you to have an easier day. But when things get out of hand and your device is constantly warning you that you're running out of memory, I'm going to show you exactly the reason why that happens. Now, I'm not going to be naming the two items that consume a lot of your phone's internal memory, but I am going to have to point them out. Okay, you're going to want to go to settings and fall all the way down until you find your application list. So go to applications, keep going until you see your entire list. Okay. Now it's going to be these two that get out of hand. This one in particular, and this one as well. Okay, watch this. Every single time that I've had a SIM card in this phone, it gets way out of hand. So you have to constantly go in and clear things out and bring it down to a manageable level. Okay. And then the next item is going to be this one as well. These two have a tendency of doing a lot of data harvesting. You never want to clear out your mission critical applications such as phone or Gmail or contacts or anything like that. It's the ones that have the tendency of harvesting your data. Now, your regular applications still do that, like especially your social media ones and all that. So, essentially, what you're going to want to do is that you're going to want to go in and clear out the junk files. And the reason for that is that it literally is stated in that sense. Clear out the junk files. So on some of your phones, you'll have a way of doing that. On the particular phone that I have and that I'm pointing at, the file manager shows me the list of applications that have a tendency of getting out of hand. Okay. So you'll have to go the long way and go through the list and look for the ones that are listed with a lot of data. Okay. And go in and clean out the junk files. Not every phone has that. But see, look, right here. The memory is out of hand. Now, I know it stated it previously, but the first time I turned this phone on and I was showing one of my coworkers that this is really getting out of hand. Every single time I purchased a new phone, and even straight out of the box, when it does a system update, it always has a tendency of taking up half of the amount of available data that is internally in your phone. Now, I find that very off putting, even on a brand new phone. So, if you want to purchase a new phone, you literally have to go after something that has 4 times the amount of memory that should be available. Case in point, I purchased a 16 gig phone, and I know 16 gigs aren't available, but this is just an example. I purchased a 16 gig phone, and right off the bat, the update took 8 gigs. Okay, some time had passed, and then I went out and purchased a 32 gig phone. And once again, without fail, on a brand new phone, in the setup process, it didn't always update. And out of 32, it took 16 right off the bat. And I go, hey, wait a minute, that's not cool. I haven't even started using the phone. The second I put the SIM card in, it started data harvesting. And in doing so, it doesn't clear out the data harvesting portion of your phone. It keeps building and building and building until your phone says, hey, I'm out of memory. So, just as an example, I would go out and I would delete applications on here, the ones that I had that were old, and it would give me that amount of memory back. Case in point, I would delete like just a game, any given game or any given nuisance application that I stopped using. I would get that memory back, but this little monster and those two applications that I showed you would literally go out of its way, harvest enough data, and within an hour or two, the first two on the list would consume that empty space. And once again, if I hadn't cleared those two out, my phone would be out of memory. So, okay, I would take other things out. I would take music out, or I would take some of the pictures out, or whatever, my personal data, and without fail, in under 2 hours, once again, this cell phone would turn into a monster, and it would harvest even more data, or it would do an OS update, and these two would get out of hand. Now, I know what to do. Now, this is just a warning. I'm not saying that I'm not casting disparaging remarks against any given phone manufacturer or OS. It's just a warning. I prefer that this video not get flagged or that my account be deleted. It's just a statement of fact. That's the reason why I'm not stating the two that get out of hand by name. Besides the ones that are being used for like your social media or even your Chrome. Inside Chrome, the browser itself, they keep harvesting data no matter what, and even more so when you put the SIM card in. So nowadays, you literally have to go out and purchase a phone that you can't use the base model, right? I think the one that's out right now is I think a 32. That's the base model. Well, guess what? If you use the 32, right off the bat, you're gonna lose 16 gigs. So you literally have to go with a 64 or 128. And even then, eventually you're going to run out of data because you're gonna keep putting apps, or you're gonna take those vacation photos or videos or whatnot, and then you're gonna run out of memory, and then you're gonna have to remove some of your personal data off of there in order to get your phone to be cooperative. So my apologies as to the fact that this video doesn't have a bonus. This is just a fair warning for the type of devices that run out of memory constantly. You have to keep clearing out the junk data or harvested data that's stored. It should be a revolving type of scenario. It checks to see what you're doing. It stores it temporarily, and then it should clear itself out. But these companies don't go out of their way to set that up that way. You yourself have to do that as a housekeeping scenario or a way of maintaining your phone. Now, the only reason I know this is because through trial and error and being a little bit tech savvy, not bragging, just being tech savvy, statement of fact, your phone will constantly run out of memory if it's a base model type phone with low memory capacity. There used to be a feature where you could take your apps and store them on your memory card, your SD card. They took that out because a lot of people were freeing up a whole section memory, and these two apps were constantly storing data and not clearing them out. People were still complaining, how is that possible? So they stopped that process. All your apps are still stored internally. Now they have app archiving, but even then, why isn't this auto clearing itself out at, at times? Okay, so like I said, that's just a warning. You all have a good day, and I hope and pray that this video doesn't get deleted. We'll see you on the next one.